Hey guys, Altu here, loseweightbuildmuscles.com. So I want to do a really quick video just to show you my weekly shop. So this is the first week of my 6-month transformation and this is excuse me, this is the shopping that I've brought home today. And I just want to show you exactly why I chose what I chose, what I bought, just give you some tips basically about how you can do a pretty healthy shop yourself. Just to point out, I've got about 4 annoying Chihuahua puppies in the room, so if you hear any yapping, I want to apologise in advance for that, but we're going to try and do what we can. Okay, so I've just come home from my shop. Everything I've bought is pretty much healthy. I just want to give you a quick tip before I start, and that is to prepare yourself a list before you go shopping. I want to see if I've still got mine. Nope, I put it, here it is. Alright, so I've just put everything that I wanted before I even left the house. I put it all on a green post-it note and just stick to it, okay? If you see any offers or anything that tickles your fancy, try and stay away from it, unless it's gonna be something you would have bought anyway and something that's gonna help you towards your goals. Tip number 2. Okay, tip number 2, you want to go shopping when you're not hungry. Make sure you've had a good meal in you. Otherwise, you're going to start getting things that you normally wouldn't get. Your cravings are going to start kicking in. Every item on that shelf is going to look good to you. So, and these usually end up being unhealthy choices. So try and make sure you never go shopping hungry. That's tip number 2. Okay, let's get into what I've bought exactly. So we'll start off with the carbohydrates. So I've tried to go for complex carbohydrates, so things that are going to release slowly, things that are going to give me energy throughout the day. They're going to keep my insulin levels low as well, which is important for not putting on fat. Okay, so you want to keep your body fat levels low, even while you're bulking. Don't worry too much about putting on fat while you're bulking, but you want to minimize it, obviously, as much as you can, because then it makes losing fat that much easier and a shorter process. So the first thing I'll go through is the easy cook brown rice. Okay, so I've gone for brown rice, whole grain rice, because that's going to release a lot more slowly than white rice is. Also, all the vitamins and minerals have been kept inside this bad boy, so we're gonna have more fibre in here. We're gonna have more vitamins. All the goodness has been kept inside the brown rice. Brown rice is a very good complex carbohydrate to have. It's going to release energy slowly and you're not going to crash down as soon as you have it. White rice, on the other hand, isn't as good. It's been refined, all of the fiber's been stripped out of it, so you want to try and go for brown rice where possible. Same with the pasta basically. I've got whole wheat fusilli pasta. Pasta's so easy. It's probably one of the easiest meals you can cook. It's going to take you 10-15 minutes in boiling water, so it's a really quick and easy meal for you to make. Again, I've gone for whole wheat because I actually prefer the taste of whole wheat. First of all, I find plain pasta just plain. It's just boring to me. So whole wheat pasta gives me, in my personal opinion, I prefer the flavour. It just gives me a much more natural flavour. And it's going to be obviously much more healthy for us as well. It's not been refined, it hasn't been through that refinement process where all the good stuff has been taken out. This is all natural, okay? So stick with the whole wheat variety of pasta as well. This one you might not know about, sweet potatoes. So I love sweet potatoes. I prefer them over normal potatoes, and that's a good thing because these are a lot more complex than your normal potatoes are. So normal potatoes are going to release a lot quicker into your bloodstream. They're going to release energy a lot quicker into the bloodstream, whereas sweet potatoes are a lot more slow release. They're going to sustain your energy for a longer period of time. So these are fantastic because they're obviously gluten free. These are a very good carbohydrate choice. So try and go for sweet potatoes when you can. I've got my wholemeal bitters here as well. These are more for snacking on, so I've bought some hummus as a snack, so I can dip the pita bread in the hummus. They've got fibre in them. They've got gluten in any sort of bread product, well not all bread products, but most bread products have gluten in them, so that might bloat you out a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that right now because I'm bulking up, so it's not really going to be an issue for me. But it's a good snack, a really good snack. You want to get the wholemeal variety again because it's got all the goodness still inside the bread. Hasn't had anything stripped out, hasn't had any fibre or vitamins stripped out, so keep that as it is, the wholemeal. This is more of a snack. I've got some wholemeal oat cakes, so there's 4 to a pack of these, and again these are more of a snack, so something else I can dip in my hummus. If I'm on the go, I can just take these with me as a quick healthy snack. Okay, got a bit of protein in there, but mainly a carbohydrate source. Okay, so that's my carbohydrates. That's going to last me a week, probably more, and I eat quite a lot, so that's pretty good. Let's go on to fruit and veg then. So fruit and veg, what I've gone for here is basically all the colours of the rainbow. So you want to go for all colours of the rainbow because each colour represents a different mineral, different vitamin, antioxidants, all the good stuff that's going to fight free radicals that cause damage to your body. So what you can also do is use vegetables to plump out your food, so plump out your meals. What I mean by that is vegetables are quite low in calories, so you can use them to really fill yourself up if you're burning fat. If you're bulking up, vegetables are going to be equally as important, fruit and veg, because they're going to keep your digestive system flowing with the fibre that they've got. So that's going to help your colon run smoother. It's not the sexiest subject, I know, but it's gonna, trust me, if you're bulking up, you know exactly what I mean. You need that fibre to help you just go, basically. Alright, so I've gone for all colours of the rainbow. I've got my broccoli here. Greens are fantastic because they've got loads of fibre, lots of roughage. Again, it's going to help that digestive process. I've got red onions here. I've got tomatoes, again, all different colours. I've got pears. We're going on to fruits now. I've got apples, I've got organic plums, and I've got organic nectarines as well. I'm a big fan of nectarines, and that's what I've got for fruit and vegetables. Just a word on fruit and veg. Obviously organic is much better if you can. You want all your stuff to be natural and not tampered with. The stuff they do put in fruits and most of our foods these days are pretty horrendous. Like the chemicals they're putting into our foods are really gonna affect your body. So you really want to try and go organic when you can. But at the same time, I'm not gonna tell you have to go organic because it's a budget issue. So organic food is obviously a hell of a lot more expensive than your standard fruit and veg. So go organic when you can. If you can't, just go for your normal fruit and veg, but make sure you're getting enough of your fruit and veg, okay? Go for your 5 a day, all right? Next up, let's go for, I'll talk about my snacks first. So this is probably my treat. This wasn't on my shopping list. Give yourself 1 or 2 treat foods that aren't on your shopping list, okay? We want to keep ourselves sane, obviously, and I'm bulking up still, so this isn't going to be too bad. I'm not going to have it every day, but creamy coleslaw. It's lower in fat. That doesn't really change much, but it is what it is. I actually incidentally made the mistake of going shopping when I was hungry. I know I told you not to do that. I made the schoolboy error of doing that. Okay. I bought some reduced fat hummus. I could have made this myself. You can make hummus yourself, but I'm lazy like that. But hummus is great. You've got a little bit of protein in there, a little bit of fat, but the fat's good fat, and it's just great for snacking on. Again, you don't want too much of it. You don't want large portions. It's just a small snack. I've got some low-fat natural yogurt here as well. Don't go for commercial yogurts. One of the biggest tips I can give you when you're shopping is learn how to label read. It's a really massive skill that you can have. It's a really important skill, and it takes 2 seconds. If you look at the back, look for ingredients, and this actually doesn't even have ingredients because that is all it is. It's just literally yogurt. So plain yogurt is fine. I can have dairy at the moment because again I'm bulking. Some people take dairy out completely, and I understand that. Some people get very bloated by dairy. I'm gonna reduce my dairy. I'm gonna go gluten free as well when I start burning fat. So leading up to my show on April the 1st, 2012, I will get rid of dairy and gluten. But for now, low fat natural yogurt is a good snack for me. Alright. So they're my snacks. I'm gonna move on to the muscle builders now. The big dogs. We are going to go into protein. And incidentally, I don't have dog as meat. My first meat is, I've bought some British finest lean steak mince. Okay, so I've bought lean. This is less than 10% fat. You can get extra lean mince, which is less than 5% fat. The leaner it is, the more expensive the meat's going to be because there's more. They've obviously put more. They've left more of the meat inside the product, and they've taken most of the fat out. So the meat is what's expensive of the product. But again, I'm bulking, so 10% fat is fine. It's still pretty lean. And just a quick secret about the food industry, actually. They'll tell you that saturated fat is the biggest enemy you can have in terms of what you're eating. But really that's a cover-up for them to sell you all of the healthy alternatives, like margarine, for example, which is one of the massive killers in society, one of the biggest causes of heart attacks and cancer, because it's not saturated fats that are the killers. Sure, saturated fats, you don't want too many of them in your diet, too much of it in your diet, but it's the trans fats that you really want to get rid of in your diet. And the thing is with trans fats is they don't have to label them on the back of the ingredients. That's the trick. They're actually, the most dangerous part about them is that they're actually under the column of polyunsaturated fats. So you might look at the back and think they're good fats, when in actuality they're not. They're really the worst kind of fats, man-made fat that you can have. So that's a topic for another day, but just bear that in mind. Saturated fats aren't the devil. You obviously don't want too much of your fat to consist of saturated fat, but be more wary of trans fats, okay? Obviously, all these meats are for my muscle building needs, so they're gonna break down into amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscle. So I'm gonna get that from all this protein here. So I bought 500 grams of lean mince. I can put that in a spaghetti. I can make my own burgers with it. I've also bought some British turkey diced breast. So this is turkey meat. Turkey meat is a lot leaner than chicken meat. I say a lot leaner. There's not much in it, but turkey breast is leaner than chicken. So if you do want the leanest meat, go turkey. It's a little bit drier, obviously, because there's less fat in it. But again, it's diced, so I can put this in a stir fry, a healthy stir fry. I can put it in a casserole. Lots of options with this. I haven't decided yet. But again, it's a very high protein food and very healthy as well. Excuse me. These weren't on my list, but they were on offer. Again, I fell into my own trap. But again, it's a healthy meal. So these are large king prawns. So these were on offer, so I snapped them up. Again, very, very low fat. These have got hardly any fat in them. And just high in protein. So another good meal, something that I can whip up during the week. This is kind of a semi-cheap meal, kind of. But I'm bulking up, so I keep using that as an excuse, don't I? But these are Aberdeen Angus burgers. Again, I'm using my reasoning here that there is 16.5 grams of fat per grilled burger. 7.5 of that is saturated fat. So if you look at it, if you look at the bigger picture, it's not a heck of a lot of saturated fat, and I'm not going to be having this every day. So the beef is going to be good quality. It's made with 100% beef. So yeah, this is going to be a good muscle building food for me. The saturated fat I'm not too concerned about. It would be more concerning if it was trans fats, but there aren't any trans fats in here. So burgers are actually quite a good option, especially if you get free range burgers or ones that have been fed with natural food, so free range. What's the word I'm looking for? It will come to me. It's not free, it is free range, but they also get grass fed, that's it. So you want grass fed meat as well. So that's going to be the most natural kind of meat you can get. And the saturated fat in that is actually going to serve a good purpose. It's going to help to produce hormones and things of that nature. So it's not the worst thing you can have in the world. So burgers are actually quite underrated, and they're kind of they're over demonized as a bad food. They're not that bad. Obviously the packaged stuff is bad, but I've read the ingredients on here and it's not. This one hasn't got anything untoward in it. It's all natural ingredients. And finally, I always try and get a bit of fish as well. So I've gone for 2 tins of sardines here, really cheap. You're going to get your omega-3s in these as well. And you can put these in a salad, you can put them in a sandwich really quickly. Ideally, I do try and buy fresh fish. That's going to be better for you. Again, if you can, try and get organic. Try not to go for farmed fish. It's difficult to do, obviously. So just go for fish as well. Try and get some fish in your diet. Some people hate fish. You're gonna miss out on a lot of good omega-3 natural fatty acids. These are actually good for helping you burn fat and good for things like your skin, your metabolism. So try and get some fish in your diet if you can. But yeah, that's my whole weekly shop, and this actually all came to £32. So in dollars, that's about $50. Most people spend a lot more on their shopping than this, and that's because of all the extra packaged stuff they buy, all the extra crappy products and all the treat meals that they get themselves. So if you use my tips, make yourself a list, get yourself a list, follow us on the list, don't deviate from the list, and don't go shopping when you're hungry. That's rule number 2. I broke that rule today, I paid the price. So yeah, make sure that you follow those rules, and you can live a healthy lifestyle with a budget.